what's up, guys? We're back at it again with the best Giant Double Prince deck in Clash Royale. Giant Double Prince has dominated the game since the very start. In 2016, it was the strongest deck. And today in 2022, it's still played in the top 20 in the world consistently. Because there's so many bait decks in the meta with guards, Dark Goblin, princesses, you gotta have arrows plus zap now. It works so much better to remove distractions so your Mega Minion and Prince can connect to things that actually matter. And this deck has got the best of both worlds. You have destructive firepower with your double princes and giant to take the games from your opponents in seconds, but if they've got sturdy enough defenses, you can use your giant as a tank for the miner to have more HP for the miner so we can do a lot more damage and slowly chip them out with arrows, miners, and zaps. This is one of the most consistent decks on ladder no matter the matchup. So let's go jump straight to some games and assert dominance. I upload daily videos on the channel, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss out. A huge thanks to everyone that's using credit code SirTag to support the channel. Thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video. Download on mobile or PC using the QR code. Raid has officially taken over, with hundreds of artifacts to equip and over 600 champions blessed with unique skills. You can build your own team, develop your champions, and raid your way. I've been playing Raid for a while now, and whenever I'm grinding, you guys already know I love the Royale Guard. He has an extremely powerful ability, scale damage based on enemy max HP. He can paralyze a boss, deal incredible damage, and there's not much more you could ask for. My favorite part about Raid is testing my skill in the PvP arenas. There's no better feeling than crushing other players and climbing up the leaderboards. The main event this month is the Deliana Chase event, where you can unlock the brand new legendary champion. Just log in and play Raid for 7 days between now and July 20th, you'll get Deliana for free. Hit up the link in the description and you'll get 3 free champions: Misery Cord, Tiger Soul, and Ramiro. 10 Magic XP Brew, 10 Force XP Brew, and 10 Spirit XP Brew 2. And if you're new, enter promo code MyDeliana. You'll get 50 XP Brews to max your Deliana and tons of silver. So this deck completely thrives off of counter pushes. So I'm not going to be cycling too much in the back. I'm just going to go for like a Dark Prince, wait for our opponent to make the first misplay, and then capitalize on that and bombard him on the other side. So we saw Snowball, and we also see a Night Witch. I don't necessarily know what this deck is. Oh, is this going to be Giant Miner versus Giant Miner? If we can win the bridge battle right now, I can throw a Giant in front of this and then win the game. Generally, you don't want a giant in the back with this deck, as I said before. You want to go in for your princes, wait for your opponent to make the misplay. When they are down a ton of elixir like that, then you can capitalize on it and be like, hey, you messed up. You probably feel a little bit bad about that play, bro. Because now the prince is coming out to play and maybe even going to ruin your day.
Help me. Help me.
Even if you go in for the poison, even if you drop all that elixir, you're not going to have anything to stop this prince because then the miner's tanking. So we've got multiple tanks for this deck. Whether it's going to be drop in the giant or the miner, we're going to find a way to keep those princes alive and punishing your tower. We're already up 2,000 damage because of that amazing start. And as you guys can see, found our opportunity, punished our opponent, and swiftly converted our elixir advantage into a damage lead. That's how this deck works, and that's why it's been strong since 2015 or 16. Since the very start of Clash Royale, Double Prince has been one of the first deck combination that's been at the top of ladder, and it's still there. Always played within the top 50 in the world. So I want to just go in for like a Mega Minion because it's a little bit slower, but at the same time, I'd rather go for a Prince. Looks like he's just going to sack that completely. He's going to ransack his tower. So if he loses with this push, he's going to lose the game. I'm going to go and follow up with our Electro Wizard to stop the giant so it doesn't get near my tower. And even though I don't have like a building here against this balloon, I think I'm able to defend it. The Mega Minion is one of the best air defenses in the entire game. If he doesn't snowball on top of the Mega Minion, it's going to shut everything down. As you guys can see, no matter what weird mid-ladder strategy you're playing against on ladder, you'll just destroy them. As long as you have a proper defense, you play safe, and you don't cycle your giants in the back, because if you cycle your giant in the back, you're leaving yourself wide open for your opponent to potentially go in for a Goblin Drill, bridge spam the other side, maybe an Expo, and you're not able to defend that. So cycle your princes, find your opportunity, and you'll win every game. So this guy actually all-in'd me just to take one tower and immediately lose his tower right after that. Don't really know what the point of that was, but, you know, very dominant W. We got a game against the King of Thunder, and we are ready to lay down the dominance. Can't wait to go for the Prince in the back and figure out what our opponent's got. If it's going to be log bait, this is going to be one of the best matchups imaginable because we got arrows for those guards. Beautiful start for us. So against log bait, you want to go for your giant in the back, and then if they've got Inferno Tower, what you can do is you can arrow on top of their guards that they defend the princes with, the Inferno Tower, and go for a miner to shut down the Inferno Tower. So like they'll go for the Inferno Tower, right? And what happens is if you can miner and zap and kill the Inferno Tower with that, then the giant can lock onto the tower. So that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go in for the miner. I'm going to go in for the zap. and we should be able to kill this really quickly and have the Mega Minion lock onto the tower and win us the game. So I'm stoked for this. It's going to reset on the miner. I can arrow on top of all the guards, and it doesn't have a single defense for the Mega Minion. This is just how it works. You know that the strategy works a certain way. You just rinse and repeat. You kind of have a game plan in your head before you enter the matchup. And you're like, okay, I can eat a Goblin Barrel, and then I can always go in for the Miner on top of the Inferno Tower, have the Mega Minion go off to the right-hand side, lock onto the tower, and also just get more damage than a single Goblin Barrel would ever get. So that's how you play it. Against Teslas, you want to go in for the Miner on top of the tower instead of going in for the Miner on top of the Tesla, because, like, obviously you don't have to reset it for any reason. You'll just get more damage with your Mega Minions, and you'll get more damage with your other offense of, like, consistently getting Miner chip damage to damage them out. That's just the way that you play this matchup. Rarely will I ever go in for arrows on top of Goblin Barrels. You'll try to go in for Princes and then get counter push on that. So that's what we're going to rinse and repeat. I should just go in for the Giant in the back and build up a bigger push, but right now I feel pretty comfortable going in for a Miner, then potentially arrowing away the guards and then getting a bit more value. So we're going to arrow that immediately, and then the Prince is going to lock onto the Valkyrie or the tower, so this is a great transaction for me as well. I can go for Dark Prince. It will kill all of the goblins, and then it's also going to be able to finish off the Princess. So even if you log that, that's a lot of extra elixir. Oh, I guess we're going to go for the 3 crown. I was not thinking we would take the tower there. I should have gianted on the left-hand side, but that, I guess, was a giant blunder on our end. I expect him to go for a Princess or go in for another Goblin Barrel, so we'll just Mega Minion here. And since I have Electro Wizard, I could go in for another Giant in the middle. This is going to be really fun. I'm excited for this. I haven't done this before. So we're going to go for an E-Wiz, and then I can go in for the Miner here. I can Zap still. And the E-Wiz is going to go for the Inferno Tower. There's no way for him to defend this unless he goes guards, which we're easily able to arrow away. Yo, am I just going to 3 crown you right now, or am I going to take the other tower? Whichever one I want, I can pick my poison, and I can take any tower. This is hilarious. We literally have all the power with this deck. So if you guys play against Logbait, it's one of the most free matchups of your life. And, I mean, your opponent will probably cry. It's good to actually have a Giant deck that you are able to destroy Logbait with consistently. And because you have arrows and Zap, this matchup is one of the best for you. All right, so jumping to the action here, guys. You already know the deal. When you're running Giant Double Prince, you kind of just cycle Princesses in the back, wait for your opponent to make a slip up, and then pulverize them at the river with your Giant and spam them. So when we see Skeleton King, I definitely do not want to go same side into that. So I'm going to go in for a Prince and try to go opposite lane here with my Giant, depending on what happens. We can go for an Electro Wizard in the middle, and what happens is he's going to have to go for a Tombstone and spend a lot of Leather Elixir on the other side. And he's not able to go in for the Skeleton King ability and get good value from it. It's just going to die, right? Like if I E-Wiz here, it should be able to stop it from popping the ability. And then I think he's going to lose the Baby Dragon here as well. I definitely do want to zap on all the skeletons so maybe the Prince can connect, because now he doesn't have Barbarian Barrel in cycle. Doesn't look like he's got good answers to this. This Prince is 100% going to connect the tower, unless I'm tripping. Please tell me I'm not tripping. Phenomenal arrows. Electro Wizard doesn't get through. No, this is bad. Wow, I thought with Prince coming through there, he wasn't going to be able to cycle back to a secondary Tombstone, but man, this guy's got every single skeleton just coming out of the ground, guys. Right when you think that you killed them the first time, you have to kill them a second time, so those skeletons get shredded. Hopefully they don't come alive his 3rd time in a row. So we know that the Tombstone is out of cycle, so I want to go in for a Dark Prince here, and then I want to go in for a Giant. And we know that he will likely have Tornado with this deck, so it's not in my best interest to go in for a Miner unless he uses the Tornado pretty early on. So I can go in for an Electro Wizard here just to be able to stun his stuff and be able to kill the Barbarian Barrel. It looks like the Giant is going to be able to get a couple hits on the tower. Even if you Tornado, we're able to zap and then just finish off the Skeleton King. Oh, no, he popped the ability. I was hopeful. I was optimistic. And in the end, we got ruined by him. Okay. So I can Miner in the back, and he's going to ignore it because he doesn't have Tornado in cycle since he had already used it on defense. And, yeah, he just doesn't have a good card cycle to deal with that. So that's 500, 600 damage for free.
Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
Dropping my Miner, even though I'm not at 10 elixir, because if I drop it any later, he'll actually be able to defend that and then get counter push. Wait, this isn't a graveyard deck. This is Golem. So I was not thinking that this was going to be the case. 100% going to Giant in the other side with my Dark Prince, so then we can swiftly eliminate the Tombstone and then have the Giant go in the side that we want. I'm going to Prince and gear up for some nice aggression here and follow up with our Electro Wizard. Most of the time, he'll probably Lightning on this, so I want to separate it as much as possible. And if he doesn't have Elixir, then he obviously can't Lightning. Wait, is his entire push going in the wrong side now? Yo, that Golem is all alone. It's stranded out in the middle of nowhere. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, that's pretty nutty that that worked out in our favor. So I'm going to go in for arrows here just to clean up all of the skeletons that are starting to swarm me. Looks like we aren't going to have too big of an issue here because I've got a prince coming down the right-hand side with a giant, and then I can follow up with a miner. He thought that the prince was going to go in front, but little did he know that it was all about to go behind. I can zap and then have the prince stay alive, and it looks like with the giant coming at him, we should be able to walk away with a giant success. I don't see any way of this man being able to defend this with the dark prince coming through, the giant still tanking for the miner, and my miner hasn't even gotten touched yet. Are you serious? Is that miner actually a win condition right now? Everyone's complaining about miner doesn't do damage, miner doesn't do anything, but miner's out here carrying the entire squad on his back. And now I can go in for another miner here, follow up with a zap and arrows, and walk away with a win. Because he has to tornado the miner off to the side. Otherwise, he's just going to lose the game. And I guess he didn't have elixir because he dropped a golem at the river. So obviously, if he spent 8 elixir at the river and then tornadoed the miner, that would have been 11 elixir, and he had nothing for the E-Wiz and the Mega Minion on the tower. I still can't believe that golem that went on the right-hand side without any friends. So we got a game against Pluto. I'm ready to send this guy to a different planet, cycling our Dark Prince in the back, orbiting around our towers, and ready to make this man feel like a dwarf with our giant. I can't wait for this game to just escalate because whenever I see Bowler, you guys already know what the deal is. It's going to be either Lumberjack Balloon or Giant Graveyard, which are pretty fun to win bridge battles against because for the most part, they're not ready for Electro Wizards to stop and stun their Inferno Dragons. So I'm thinking right now, if I go in for like a giant here on the left-hand side after the Prince connects, oh, okay, he's going to go like Inferno Dragon. Yep, making the prediction. Feels great. I'm going to go Mega Minion here to stop the Lumberjack. I wonder if that was good. I wonder if that was good. If I zap this and then I kill the Inferno Dragon and I also kill the Lumberjack, that's probably a very good transaction as long as he doesn't balloon me immediately, which is exactly what happened. Mega Minion, don't die! Don't die! You had so much to live for! Oh, don't freeze me. I know it's going to happen. I can feel it. No freeze. Wow. I guess he had no elixir. The moral of the story is scream at your computer, and then eventually your opponent will hear you and feel bad for you, and then they won't drop the card that you're screaming for them not to do. All right, so I'm going to go Dark Prince on the other side to force out elixir there. Maybe he goes in for a bowler. Maybe he goes in for a Barbaril. We'll have to wait and see. If we get a bowler out of him, I can maybe go for a prince on the other side and then try to get damage with that. Usually I need to save the Mega Minion or save something. Oh, wait, this is great. That Electro Dragon is just not going to give him any value. That's hilarious. That worked out so well in my favor. Okay, I'm going to go in for an Electro Wizard here. I'm going to get a Mega Minion down when I need to, and I definitely do need to soon. We're going to arrows on top of everything, and then I will go for a Zapperino because I don't think that dragon died. Oh, yeah, that dragon most certainly is not dead, my dudes. I think I'm very dead instead. Okay, I got to go Dark Prince so the Inferno Dragon doesn't heat up and make it real spicy out here. And I think I'm going to go in for double lane Prince because I can't do anything besides dual lane pressure. Otherwise, I'm going to lose the game. It looks like he's not going to defend that. Oh, he is. Oh my gosh, wait, he really is. Oh my gosh, he really, really is. This is bad. This is going to make me sad. I hope that we can just arrow this away and then find our way. Oh no! Guys, I'm going to lose. I got dwarfed by the dwarf. It's not supposed to happen this way. GG and well played to our opponent. Losing by a few hundred HP is brutal because we had the giant on the tower and we seem to have all the power in this one. I talked to one of my friends that is consistently one of the best players in the world with Giant Double Prince, and he told me if you don't have Fireball, this matchup can be really difficult. If you have Fireball, you can knock back all the stuff that they clump up, like when this guy dropped his Electro Dragon, Inferno Dragon, and his Balloon all together. You live, you learn, and you always play better in the next one. All right, let's keep it up. So this guy is an angry lettuce. Yo, dude, I eat lettuce for breakfast. I love lettuce. I'm going to eat you alive. And I'm ready to thrive, dropping our Dark Prince in the back. So E-Wiz on top of the Hog Rider is not going to fully counter it. I hope that the Dark Prince is able to stop it from getting that secondary hit, and it worked out pretty well for us. So we're playing against the mean, pristine Archer Queen, one of the best cards in Clash Royale, and one of the most obnoxious ones as well. I think if I arrows on that, I will be able to kill her, so I won't have to worry about her giving any counter push. But whenever I see a fast cycle, I'm expecting it to be a Mortar deck. Mortar is one of the only decks that you would ever really want to go in for the giant in the back besides Logbait. Most of the Goblin Drill decks that you play against, you don't necessarily want to do that into. Oh, are you not going to have Mortar with this? Are you going to be running Earthquake plus Cannon? Oh, I really thought he was going to have Hog Rider plus Earthquake and Mortar, but I guess that's not the case. He's going to have Mini P.E.K.K.A, so he's not even going to have a building with this deck. Oh, I'm just going to go for double princes out here. This is what's up. If your opponent doesn't have a building, they can't build any type of defense, right? This is great. I think I can go in for a miner here because it looks like the double princes will be able to pulverize on top of the Archer Queen quite quickly. I'm going to zap on top of that so then we can one-tap it a little bit faster. And it looks like I've already won this one. So this is the power of double prints. If your opponent doesn't have a building, it is one of the most destructive things to play against. If they've got distractions like skeletons, it gets killed by the Dark Prince. Then the regular Prince can find his mark on top of important structures, buildings, or whatever your opponent doesn't want to hit, like their tower. So this guy just earthquaked my 3 crown and gave up. He really did not want to play this matchup. Super easy stuff with the power of the giant. Let's bounce on to the next one. To jumping into this game, we're dropping the Dark Prince in the back, our favorite superhero, ready to jump over the river and deliver the dominance. Easy. At least I hope so. It's just one of my favorite cards in Clash Royale right now because he's so fast, he's so furious, and he deals a lot of damage. Even if our opponent goes in for a Mega Minion, which is a 3 elixir investment, it still wasn't enough. So I'm planning on going in for a giant here to body block so then he's not able to get the Mega Minion on top of us. He lightning, but he didn't hit everything he needed. And then I can go for an easy arrows to finish off all the pups and hopefully get some astounding counter push with our giant soaking up all the damage for our Mega Minion. So the one thing that I want to do here is I want to be extremely obnoxious. I'm going to go for a zap so then we can reset the Inferno Dragon so we can continue to get more damage and probably just take out the entire tower here. As you guys can see, this is just the best deck to climb up trophies quickly if you master it and you play it well, because as soon as people make mistakes, which, you know, if you're not like top 200 in the world, a lot of people just will make mistakes. They will not play their absolute best at all points in time. And when they do, you take their tower. This guy's going to cycle a Lava Hound here. Usually what they're going to end up doing when they go for a Lava Hound is depend on an Inferno Dragon to kill, but I've got Electro Wizard, so I think that I'm just going to win the game here, because either if he goes in for a bait card, I can just arrow it away. If he goes in for an Inferno Dragon, then he's going to get put in a really bad spot because I Inferno Dragon counter with the E-Wiz. So just looks like one of those matchups where I'm going to eventually 3-crown this guy, and there's not much he can do. So now this guy's back to guards, but there's no way for him to guard this tower. He's going to Inferno Dragon. I can zap on that, and then I can arrows on top of the guards that have to come down any second, and then the double prince just 3-crowns him. So that's all she wrote, guys. That's going to be GG. That's going to be the thumbs up, and we go on to the next one. That's the deal. So he's not able to stop this Dark Prince, as I said before, or it was going to be a minor coming at him, and we ended up taking a pretty dominant 3-crown. If you guys don't like playing against Lava Hound, this might be one of your favorite decks to play. It's way better having arrows and zap in this type of matchup because you can swiftly eliminate guards and always reset their Inferno Dragons. Like, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an amazing rest of your day.